Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, the full version is available on Patreon. I'll be uploading all my content there going forward. It's currently free, but in the future I'll add a small monthly fee to support the channel. Comment or message me what price feels fair for you. Let's make it comfortable for both sides.
Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, the full version is available on Patreon. I'll be uploading all my content there going forward. It's currently free, but in the future I'll add a small monthly fee to support the channel. Comment or message me what price feels fair for you. Let's make it comfortable for both sides. Patreon link in description.
Chapter 1. In the year 1519 of the Haiwan calendar, a certain sea area around Gaia Island. A fierce battle is raging on a luxurious ship. A group of people dressed in white and wearing oxygen helmets were watching with relish the brutal fighting in the arena below. In the center of the arena, surrounded by a row of stone pillars, are two men who are shedding blood and tears. There is an obvious footprint of the heavenly dragon's hooves on the back of the two men. That is the symbol of slavery. One of the two men was a 2-meter tall man with a ferocious face and a muscular body resembling a horned dragon. The other is a 1-meter tall boy with a handsome face and a thin body with sharp muscles. The young man looks thin and weak, but in fact every part of his body that can be used to attack is a sharp weapon. This match was the last match of the day, and the last match of one of them in this life. Both of them crawled out of the pile of corpses. On every pillar around them hung the corpses of their defeated soldiers. Both of them are bitter people with no grievances or enmity, but if they don't fight, they will be executed. Therefore, the two of them could only try their best to seize the elusive glimmer of life. Outside the arena, Tianlong, who was drinking champagne with a beautiful woman in his arms, watched the life and death battle between the two on the field leisurely. Their favorite thing is to watch the bottom mayflies dying. On the field, the boy kept testing the speed and strength of the big man, as well as his fighting skills at the beginning of the battle. He is bound to lose today's battle. Because he is a time traveler, he had planned this battle for a month. A month ago, Xiao, who was writing an online novel, suddenly lost consciousness with black eyes. When he woke up again, Xiao found himself in the world of One Piece, and was lucky enough to become the combat slave of the noblest Draco in the world. Through the memory of this body's previous life, Xiao learned that the original owner was favored by the Tianlong people during a long voyage 2 years ago, and was forcibly captured as a combat slave. The memory of when the back was engraved with the footprints of a dragon is particularly evident. That kind of fear, pain, and anger constantly tormented the original owner's will for 2 years. In order to leave this cruel hell one day, the original owner spent 2 years training himself step by step from an ordinary person to a killing machine. But the days still go by like this day by day. The small fire of hope was constantly destroyed by strong winds, and finally the fire was extinguished a month ago. As soon as the original owner died, Xiao inherited this body on the back. When he woke up with this body, Xiao looked at the cage with flickering lights all around him in a daze. "What's the situation? Didn't you code at home? Are you dreaming?" But the pain from his body made Xiao understand that this was not a dream, but an extremely real reality. Dragging his tired body to a dirty mirror, Xiao looked at himself in the mirror. Why doesn't the appearance match? Is this reincarnation after death? Xiao tried his best to recall the last memory. After he coded the words for 16 hours in a row, his eyes darkened and he lost consciousness. When he woke up again, he was here. Could it be that I was exhausted because of the high-intensity code words? Xiao clutched the painful part, and reluctantly accepted the reality. The moment he accepted the reality, the memories of the original owner over the years flooded into Xiao's mind. The painful memories of the past 2 years made Xiao tremble uncontrollably. It's not fear but anger, it's hate. That kind of pain made Xiao feel the feeling of hatred to the bone for the first time. He didn't know whether it was the remaining consciousness of the original owner, or his hatred for the injustice suffered by the original owner. Tianlong grants not being a human being, Chen Xiao knew about it in the anime in his previous life. In this precarious world situation, the celestial dragons define right and wrong, crime and punishment with absolute power. And they are the lawmakers who trample the law under their feet. So what if other countries are dissatisfied? In this world where personal combat power can turn the situation around, big fists are the last word. Just when Chen Xiao was angry but helpless, a voice sounded in his head. Ding! Fruit illustrated book to be included. System. As a novelist, Chen Xiao heard this strange yet familiar voice. He was even closer than seeing his own father. Although the routine is old, it has been tried and tested. Chen Xiao immediately checked how the system works. Fruit illustrated book. You can copy the fruit ability of the opponent by touching the fruit ability user. The number is not limited. This system will give different rewards according to the master's cultivation progress. How simple and rude, yet understated and luxurious. Chen Xiao couldn't help but exclaimed in ecstasy, the era of the master is coming. What's the noise in the middle of the night? Can't sleep yet. A rough curse came from the next room. Sorry, I had a nightmare. Chen Xiao said very politely. With the blessing of the system, Chen Xiao began to look for news that was beneficial to him in the memory of the original owner. After checking the memory, Chen Xiao was overjoyed again. Through the memory of the original owner, Chen Xiao learned that the boat would arrive at Gaia Island in a month. The sea area near Gaia Island can form cumulus clouds, which will burst into the sky and bring the boat to the empty island. And there is Enel on the empty island. Thinking of the most powerful Thunderbolt fruit among the natural fruits, Chen Xiao's tears could not help but flow from the corner of his mouth. According to the memory of the original owner, the current year should be the beginning of 1519 in the Haiwan calendar. That was the year before Luffy went to sea. There should be a year and a half before the Top War. In the past year and a half, Chen Xiao plans to join the Navy and try his best to promote his position to Lieutenant General or Major General. When the time comes to participate in the war on the top, shake the fruit, the phoenix fruit, the sparkling fruit, the dark fruit. With the help of the multiple abilities copied from the fruit illustrated book, he will become the strongest man in the world in the future. When the time comes, unite with the GM army, overthrow the rule of the celestial dragons, and use absolute power to create a world without oppression. It can be regarded as revenge for the predecessor. The ideal is beautiful, but the reality is cruel. Chen Xiao looked at the slave collar on his neck that would explode when he took it off. How to get it down has become the biggest problem right now. If he can't find a way to escape after a month, he will miss the thunderous fruit. If you don't reach the level of a lieutenant general before the top war comes, you will miss a series of events. Who knows what will happen in Chen Xiao's uncertain future? In case I was clicked halfway, wouldn't it be a waste of this god-level system? Now that the time has come, Chen Xiao has used a month to figure out the general structure of the ship. And then made a plan for today. The success or failure of this plan today will have no less impact on future generations than when Roger started the era of great pirates. Chapter 2. In the arena, facing Chen Xiao, a strong man named Butte jumped forward and punched Butte in the face. Bout fends off with an elbow. Click. There was a sound of bone cracking, and Chen Xiao tricked Butte with a fake move, and broke Butte's left wrist with a punch. With one hand crippled, Bout resisted the pain and swept towards Chen Xiao with a whip. Chen Xiao reacted quickly and instantly distanced himself from the opponent. The man opposite was fighting on the field with the intention of killing himself. Chen Xiao must minimize the risk of suspended animation. That's right, Chen Xiao planned to fake his death in this battle to deceive the Tianlong people. At that time, he will be untied from the slave collar around his neck and thrown overboard. This is what Chen Xiao saw in the memory of his predecessor. Tianlong people would not waste a collar on a dead person. After the plan is successful, he will be able to regain his freedom, go to Gaia Island to find a chance to board the empty island, and find Enel to copy the ability of the Thunder Fruit. Therefore, Chen Xiao worked hard to hold his breath during this month, and kept beating and strengthening the muscles in the heart, resulting in the effect of temporarily stopping the heartbeat. After a month of training that is unbearable for most people, Chen Xiao can stop his heartbeat and breathing for 5 minutes without being noticed. The human body in pirate world cannot rely on normal thinking considerations, and the body left by the predecessor has been honed and polished. When he inherited his body, Chen Xiao could already precisely control every muscle in his body. This is also the reason why he dared to do this. The immediate problem was how to get Bout to hit himself hard without causing fatal damage. He also had to ensure that the injury would not affect his body for swimming in the sea. All kinds of difficulties added together made it difficult for Chen Xiao to take every step, as if he was walking on thin ice. Chen Xiao was retreating and thinking. The Tianlong people on the high platform impatiently picked up their pistols and aimed at the field behind Chen Xiao. With a gunshot, a small hole was punched out in the ground behind Chen Xiao by the bullet. "Hurry up and fuck me! Are you looking for death?" A Tianlong man watching the game on the high platform cursed angrily. The two people in the arena were stunned by the gunshot. Both sides are hesitating when to attack each other. After 2 seconds of silence, Chen Xiao's eyes sharpened, he stepped forward, and ran towards Boot. Because Bout had one arm crippled by Chen Xiao, he could only stand on the spot in a defensive posture, waiting for Chen Xiao to get close and then counterattack defensively. This is exactly what Chen Xiao wanted. When he was less than 2 meters away from Boot, Chen Xiao flew up and kicked Boot's head. This move seems extremely fierce, but in the eyes of people who are proficient in fighting, it is full of loopholes. How could Bout, who has been fighting continuously for several years, fail to seize this opportunity? Big hands like iron pincers grabbed Chen Xiao's slender ankles. Then there was a deadly 5 consecutive throws. The sounds of broken bones and Chen Xiao's powerless screams were heard by the audience as Boot threw Chen Xiao to the ground. Every time Chen Xiao was thrown to the ground, he would spit out a mouthful of blood. Looking at the cruel picture below, the Tianlong people burst into laughter. "It seems that your invincible slave has come to the end of his life today." A Tianlong man looked at another dignified Tianlong man beside him and taunted him. The ridiculed Tianlongren hammered the table beside him angrily. "You're such a useless piece of trash. In vain I put 2 women on you." The angry Tianlongren picked up an iron rod and began to beat the slaves around him. The hapless slave did not dare to moan, but could only bear the pain of being beaten in silence. Chen Xiao, who was thrown down and bled from his orifices, almost lost consciousness. Fortunately, his tenacious willpower broke the limit of what his body could bear. Although he was prepared, he contracted all the muscles before being grabbed by the ankle, and also protected the sides of the head to ensure that the risk of death was minimized. But the price to pay for pretending to be dead is not something that can be easily passed. After Bout threw Chen Xiao 5 times with all his strength, he threw Chen Xiao aside after confirming that Chen Xiao had lost his breath and was dead. He raised his arms and shouted his victory, celebrating another day alive. After watching Chen Xiao fall down, the angry Tianlong man threw down the iron rod, and pulled a female slave away. In the arena, the person in charge of collecting the corpses untied the slave collar around Chen Xiao's neck, put down the dead bodies hanging from the stone pillars, and threw them into the corpse truck together with Chen Xiao. Pushing the body truck to the stern of the ship that throws garbage into the sea. After entering the corpse truck, Chen Xiao resumed his breathing and heartbeat, and he took a big gulp of air without making a sound. The stench of rotting corpses around made Chen Xiao nauseated, but the plan was 80% successful, so he would hold back no matter what. Soon, the corpse truck stopped. A square diagonal funnel was opened at the stern. The outlet of the funnel is the blue sea. Listening to the noise outside the corpse truck, Chen Xiao speculated that he had reached the stern. He held his breath again and stopped his heartbeat. The back door of the corpse truck was opened. The 2 slaves outside plugged their mouths and noses, pulled the corpses out of the car one by one, and threw them into the funnel. After entering the inclined funnel, the body slid towards the sea, and sank to the bottom of the sea after a plop. Chen Xiao's position is closer to the inside, and he will be the last corpse to be thrown out of the boat. 3 minutes later, it was finally Chen Xiao's turn. The two slaves each grabbed one of Chen Xiao's ankles, pulled him out of the car and threw him into the angled funnel. The moment he was thrown out, Chen Xiao suddenly recovered his breathing and heartbeat, and his pupils quickly focused. The moment the funnel slid out of the boat, Chen Xiao's eyes quickly swept across the stern, checking for any positions that could be grabbed. The hull of the stern, while smooth, is not without places to grab. Chen Xiao's eyes were fixed, and he grabbed a raised piece of wood with all his strength. The moment he grabbed the wooden block, Chen Xiao's body stopped falling. Enduring the severe pain coming from his internal organs, Chen Xiao grasped tightly with both hands. With the help of the secretion of adrenaline, Chen Xiao burst out with abnormal strength and swung himself to a small platform not far away. Standing on the small platform and holding the handle, Chen Xiao heaved a sigh of relief and began to give his body time to recover from the pain. He was at the very end of the boat at this time, and originally planned to swim to the nearby islands, but the weather was not good, dark clouds came with strong winds, and it seemed that it was going to rain heavily. Chen Xiao grabbed the handle, poked his head out to look at the sea in the distance, and prayed that he could see the island. Who knows, if you don't see it, you will be shocked when you see it. Cumulus. Chen Xiao couldn't believe his eyes and exclaimed. What a blind cat and a dead mouse! Just as Chen Xiao was about to get off the boat, he bumped into Cumulus. From Chen Xiao's perspective, a hole appeared in the clouds in the distant sky. Watching anime is far less shocking than experiencing it personally. Seeing the rapid accumulation of imperial cumulus clouds in the distance, Chen Xiao's eyes sharpened, and a dangerous and exciting plan came to his mind. Chapter 3. Chen Xiao, who was standing on the small platform at the stern, was resting while observing his surroundings and thinking about what he should do after climbing onto the boat. The cumulus clouds in the distance continued to increase, the sky was thundering and lightning, and the surrounding wind was strong. Chen Xiao, who had recovered a little, climbed onto the edge of the boat. Head out from a relatively hidden corner. At this time, only some slaves and a few tall armored soldiers were left on board. Seeing that it was going to rain heavily, those Tianlong people hid in the room early. The weak defense force gave Chen Xiao a chance. The original owner of the body often fought against the tall guards in armor during the 2 years on the ship. In order to make the guards relax, he always loses the duel on purpose. If he used all his strength to fight the guards, Chen Xiao could fight 4 under normal conditions. But now Chen Xiao's physical condition is very poor, and the remaining strength can barely deal with the 2 guards. Light rain began to fall in the sky, and the light rain gradually became heavier, and it didn't take long for it to become a violent storm. The slaves on patrol naturally ran to the corner to avoid the rain without being watched. Chen Xiao firmly grasped the edge of the boat, and slowly moved towards the bow. The boat is not too big, and there is a distance of several hundred meters from the stern to the bow. Although the journey is not far, it is very difficult. The big raindrops slapped on Chen Xiao's wound, making him painful and itchy. The strong wind rolled the waves and hit his back, almost dragging him into the sea several times. It took Chen Xiao nearly an hour to climb the distance of several hundred meters. At the bow of the ship, Chen Xiao quietly boarded the ship. After boarding the boat, Chen Xiao first glanced to see if Cumulus in the distance was still there. At this time, the sea water below the Emperor Cumulus cloud began to form a vortex. The skyrocketing water column is coming soon. Chen Xiao exercised his muscles and bones, and the next action is particularly important. If he fails, he will be benevolent. There are only 2 guards and a navigator guarding the rudder. There is only a small gap in the guard's heavy armor to look out, and the line of sight is very poor. Coupled with the heavy rain now, the guards in armor had their vision infinitely close to zero. Chen Xiao picked up the plaster and smeared it on his face, then found a broken hat and put it on, pretending to be a slave. The two guards were far apart. Chen Xiao first walked up to one guard and knocked on his armor. After attracting the guard's attention, Chen Xiao lowered his head and pointed to the aisle in the distance. The guard looked in the direction Chen Xiao pointed, then picked up the weapon in his hand and stepped forward to check the situation. Chen Xiao followed the guard, and when the guard walked out of the other guard's sight, Chen Xiao hugged the guard's legs violently, and threw the other guard off the boat. Before the guard could react, he was thrown into the sea. The sound of lightning and thunder around him and the heavy armor on his body prevented his voice from reaching another guard. After solving one guard, Chen Xiao walked around the bow and quietly came behind another guard. The same trick has the same effect on different people. Another guard was sent into the sea in the same way. After finishing off the second guard, Chen Xiao ran towards the helm at the fastest speed in his life without any hesitation. When the second guard was dealt with, the helmsman was still in a trance, not noticing that there was a person running towards him quickly behind him. When Chen Xiao ran to the rudder platform, the man at the helm wanted to turn around and check. He was greeted by Chen Xiaofei's kick, and before the helmsman could make a sound, he was kicked unconscious. After finishing off the helmsman, Chen Xiao took off his clothes and put them on himself, and threw him into the sea. Since the predecessor of Chen Xiao's body was an adventurer, he is proficient in navigation knowledge. After mastering the rudder, Chen Xiao steered the boat into the vortex. After setting the direction of travel, Chen Xiao clamped the rudder with an iron rod so that it could only go straight forward. At this time, the Tianlong people on the ship were still immersed in the gentle village, the guards outside were all dozing off in the heavy armor, and the slaves were hiding in the corners and did not dare to show their heads. Chen Xiao was wearing a helm suit, and no one paid any attention to him when he walked past the guards. Taking advantage of the opportunity that no one would pay attention to him, Chen Xiao also changed the sails to ensure that the sailboat would not fall off the soaring water column later. After finishing these, there is still some time before entering the vortex. Chen Xiao started attacking the guard who was alone. After relying on sneak attack and deception to solve the three guards, Chen Xiao put on the armor of the guards. Wearing guard armor, Chen Xiao got the keys to the slaves held underneath and held the keys and switches of the explosive collars on many people's necks. After getting the key, Chen Xiao also caught a scapegoat. The other party was a bastard named Elot. Taking advantage of his position as slave manager, he often bullied fellow slaves around him. In Chen Xiao's memory, his predecessor had long been dissatisfied with Elot, but he had no chance to kill him. After calling Elot to the bow, Chen Xiao suddenly punched and smashed Elot's jaw, making him unable to speak. "Kneel well," Chen Xiao said in a voice that was not too big or too small to make sure Elot could hear it. Elot didn't dare to resist, so he could only cover his mouth and knelt on the spot. At this time, the sailboat entered the vortex, and because Chen Xiao adjusted the sails, the boat entered the vortex without causing any major vibrations. Boom! The soaring water column gushed from the center of the vortex, bringing the sailboat into the sky. Everyone on board, except Chen Xiao, had prepared for the impact in advance and hugged the mast tightly, and almost everyone outside the cabin fell out of the boat. Especially those guards outside, there are hardly a few left. Everyone in the cabin also slammed against the bulkhead. The chaotic people in the cabin had no chance to react. The upside down of the hull made it impossible for them to get out of the cabin for a while, not even the room. After everything was calm, everyone came out of the cabin, only to find that they were already in a sea of clouds. This is the White Sea under the empty island. At this time, Chen Xiao pretended to be flustered and got off the mast, and ran to the nearby Tianlong Ren. "It's not good, it's not good," someone rebelled. Chen Xiao said with a sharp voice. Hearing that someone rebelled, the Tianlong people immediately called the attendants around. The guards in the cabin immediately assembled on the deck. "Who rebelled?" A Tianlong said angrily, and there were 10 armored guards behind him. "Report, the rebels have been killed by me, but..." But what are you talking about? The Tianlong man shouted. The rebellious slave killed the helmsman and several guards, and brought the sailboat to the sky, which seems to be the legendary White Sea. Chen Xiao said, pretending to be coy, so that the Tianlong people would not doubt his head. Superior. What? Biography, the legendary White Sea. The Tianlong man put on a surprised and mentally retarded face. Then Chen Xiao took a few Tianlong people to see the body of Elot who had been killed by him. Chapter 4. Where's the navigator? Come here. Tianlong Ren shouted to everyone on the deck behind him. An old man with thick glasses came out. Master. The old man bowed and lowered his head. Hurry up and find a way to bring us back. The Tianlong man looked at the old man and yelled. The old navigator adjusted his glasses and said, we should be on a certain empty island now. As long as we find a place where people live, we can find a way to get down. Empty island? Are there still people living there? Tianlong Ren looked at the old navigator with a dazed expression. Of course, Sky Icelanders generally have a pair of wings behind them, which is easy to identify. The old navigator explained carefully. Chen Xiao glanced at the old man, but he didn't expect him to know a lot. Okay. Is it the king's land in the whole world? The people on the empty island are also my slaves. Find them for me. Obey. The old man bowed humbly. Others pack up the room and the sailboat for me. Tianlong said and walked into the room. Chen Xiao consciously assumed the task of guarding the navigator. Watching the old man start to concentrate on controlling the sailboat, Chen Xiao asked the old man in a low voice, Navigator, can you really go to Sky Island? The old man laughed and said, I've been here before to look for the legendary Golden Town, but I couldn't find it. The road conditions here are familiar to me. Hearing the old man's answer, Chen Xiao was a little shocked. The other party had been to Sky Island before. I also looked for the Golden Town of Shandora. But depending on the age, the other party must not know that Enel has become the god of Sky Island. Now bring this group of arrogant and stupid Tianlong people to the island. Under the network of Enel's heart, it is estimated that they will not survive for a few minutes. Not long after, a hexagonal golden passage appeared in everyone's eyes. Behind the channel is the cloud channel that stretches upwards. All the Tianlong people in the cabin were called out by the old navigator. Masters, please look, that is the waterway of clouds. Through the waterway, you can reach the Bibai Sea, which is the empty island. The old man shouted excitedly to the dragons. Okay, get in, one of the celestial dragons ordered. The old navigator had steered the boat to the passage before he could speak. On the platform of the channel, a purple-haired old woman in a pink vest held a camera and took pictures of everyone on board. Where did the old woman come from? How dare you disrespect the noble Tianlong people? The Tianlong people looked at the camera in the old woman's hand and cursed. The surrounding guards immediately took out their weapons. The old man at the helm is also very strange. There was no old woman guarding him when he came before. Mooring the boat in the passage, the Tianlong people shouted at the old woman, How dare you take pictures of us, don't you want to live? I am the surveillance officer of the Gate of Heaven, Amazon, are you here for sightseeing or for war? Amazon asked calmly. What a mess, we are Tianlong people and your masters, so naturally we come to the empty island to have fun. It doesn't matter. If you want to go to heaven, you need to pay 10 billion IQ per person. This is stipulated by law. Hey! The slave dares to ask the master to pay, I think you don't want to live. The guards on the ship raised their guns and aimed at Amazon under the instruction of the Draco. Seeing the other party pointing a gun at him, Amazon changed his face in an instant, and summoned the express shrimp kindly with a smile. This is Baihei's famous express shrimp. It can send you masters to heaven. After Amazon explained, he immediately hid in the room. Seeing the attitude of the Tianlong people, Chen Xiao snorted coldly in his heart, this old woman named Amazon is the most careful. If he is treated like this, he will definitely send a message to Enel, so that Enel will be punished by God. The Tianlong people here don't know what it means. The express shrimp under the boat starts instantly, and takes them all the way in the cloud waterway. After seeing the Tianlong people leave, Amazon issued a call, the supervisor of the gate of the kingdom of heaven. Amazon, tell the Almighty God and all the priests that there are many invaders in the kingdom of God, please give them heaven's sanctions. When reaching the end of the waterway, the express shrimp jumped out of the water and threw the sailboat into the sea of clouds. After the sailboat landed in the sea of clouds, everyone on board was looking at the city of Sky Island curiously. After Chen Xiao silently turned the rudder, he slipped into the slave cabin without anyone noticing. Come to shore. Tianlong Ren commanded. The old navigator found a beach that was closer to the shore. Just when the Tianlong Ren was immersed in the joy of discovering the new world, a spear shot out from behind, piercing a Tianlong Ren's body in an instant. Those who use spears are the battle slaves in the cabin. Seeing a companion fall, the other celestial dragons haven't reacted yet. Kill these bastards, a battle slave screamed and raised a knife to kill Tianlong Ren. The Tianlong people who reacted yelled, kill them quickly. Who released them? Where are the slave collars around their necks? There was an immediate chaos on the sailboat, filled with the sound of fighting and roaring. Naturally, Chen Xiao would not be so stupid as to participate in this scuffle. He had already taken off his armor and jumped into the sea of clouds. He had already landed now. After landing, a little girl appeared in front of Chen Xiao. Looking at Chen Xiao and the people fighting on the sailboat, the girl was both scared and curious. Hello, my name is Conies. Conies greeted Chen Xiao timidly. Hello, I'm from Qinghai, can I borrow your Vayaba? Chen Xiao tried his best to put on a kind gesture. Okay, okay. Conies nodded slightly. Thank you. Chen Xiao thanked Conies, and at the same time stepped on her wind shell bicycle Vayaba. Chen Xiao, who stepped on Vayaba, relied on the memory of the anime in his previous life and headed straight to the island of God where Enel was. Conies, who stayed where she was, watched Chen Xiao go to the direction of God's island, and shouted, there is a sacred place where you can't set foot on God's island, don't go. Hearing Conies' call, Chen Xiao secretly rejoiced, it seemed that he was on the right path. It's just that if you borrow the other party's Vayaba, you may not be able to pay it back. Not long after Chen Xiao left, a thunder dragon tens of meters thick in the sky swallowed the sailboat where Tianlong Ren was on. What can be confirmed is that everyone on board is dead. And only Chen Xiao got off the boat. Conies watched the divine punishment descending in shock, and looked at the direction Chen Xiao was going away, not daring to imagine what would happen to Chen Xiao. The thunder dragon in the sky is very conspicuous, and Chen Xiao can see it clearly in the distance. The great revenge of the predecessor must be avenged. Riding a Viba and galloping, feel the wind blowing by your ears. Chen Xiao's mood at this time was very complicated, with tension and relaxation coexisting. Relaxed because the humiliation of the past 2 years has finally been washed away today. The pain of the past 2 years, the longing and madness for freedom have kept Chen Xiao awake day and night for this month. Today I finally got rid of the shackles, and this body ushered in a real rebirth. I was nervous because I had to face that nervous and cruel Enel later. Before I touched the opponent, I was just an ordinary person, but I couldn't withstand the opponent's lightning. Therefore, what follows is Chen Xiao's life and death situation. Chapter 5. Riding on the Fengbei Vayaba to go wild. From a distance, Chen Xiao saw the outline of the Island of Gods. From here on, Chen Xiao's spirit was in a state of high tension. He didn't know if Enel's heart network had detected him, and he didn't know if Enel would give him a chance to speak. He can only bet that in this world where the strong are like clouds, he is like an ant, easily trampled to death by others unintentionally. Finally, I came to the Island of Gods without any danger. Getting off Vayaba and standing among the clouds, Chen Xiao quickly reasoned out what he was going to say next. Before landing on the island, Chen Xiao took a deep breath. The moment he stepped onto the island, Chen Xiao began to shout with the loudest voice he could in his life, "The Supreme God of Sky Island, I am the Infinite Continent, the messenger who came down from the moon. Because of the piety in your heart, we are willing to bow our heads and call you the God King." While shouting, Chen Xiao kept his mind clear of distracting thoughts, and his heart was the same. Enel's heart network can detect people's hearts, and if he accidentally exposes his heart, it will be over. "Enelu, are you willing to go to the moon with me and be the god of all ages? The supreme god of Sky Island?" Chen Xiao pulled his throat and used the loudest sound he could make to get Enel's attention. Enel's heart network generates information according to what he thinks in his heart. Enel's greatest wish is to go to the infinite continent of the moon and become the god of the moon. As long as he thinks about the moon, Zhen Wang will automatically bring him Chen Xiao's information, and he can hear Chen Xiao's words. "Your arc motto won't get you to the moon. Come with me." In order to get Enel's attention, Chen Xiao almost called out Enel's life experience, appearance, and abilities, what he ate this morning. Of course, this information is what Chen Xiao saw in the comics in his previous life. Imagine a person who knows all your experiences from childhood to adulthood, this person must be a god in your eyes. Chen Xiao's purpose is to make Enel regard him as a god from the moon. Use this relationship to touch his body and collect the thunderous fruit. Now Enel doesn't know how to be armed and domineering. After copying the thundering ability, he can directly elementalize the opponent, but he can't help himself. Just as Chen Xiao was shouting at the top of his voice, a bird song appeared in the distance. After hearing the bird song, Chen Xiao tensed up. The singing of birds in the Island of Gods is nothing more than the three-footed bird crossing legs under the crotch of the Sky Knight, one of the four priests. Enel sent the other party to pick him up to the shrine or kill him. As the sound of birdsong got closer, a red-maned purple-winged vulture flew straight to Chen Xiao with a man wearing goggles, a double-winged cap, and two sharp mustaches on its back. Seeing that the other party had no killing intent, Chen Xiao heaved a sigh of relief. There are still a few figures behind the Kangtian Knight, Chen Xiao looked over carefully. The Sky Knight was followed by three other men and a big white-haired dog. They are the captain of the Sky Guard, the guardian of the forest, and the Sky Island animal farmer. When the Sky Knight was less than 10 meters away from Chen Xiao, he turned over and got off the vulture. Vulture knelt down in front of Chen Xiao with him. The other three people and one dog also knelt around Chen Xiao after arriving. Being bowed down by 4 people, 1 dog, and 1 bird, Chen Xiao didn't dare to have the slightest extra thought. Because these 4 people know the outline of the mind, that is, mind reading. Before they arrived, Chen Xiao had already discarded all the thoughts in his heart, so that he could speak freely and act freely. Chen Xiao cleared his throat, and said solemnly, "Take me to see him." The 4 priests heard Chen Xiao's order, "You look at me and I look at you," but they don't know who will carry the god from the moon. "Use your 3-foot bird to cross your legs, Sky Knight." Chen Xiao looked at Sky Knight. After hearing Chen Xiao's order, the Sky Knight was startled. He didn't expect the gods to pay attention to him and his pets. As ordered, the Sky Knight got up and let the vulture come to Chen Xiao's side. This move of the Sky Knight caused the other 3 people to cast jealous eyes. The gods did not choose them. Chen Xiao sat across the vulture's neck, and the Sky Knight also sat behind Chen Xiao. "Go!" Sky Knight yelled at vulture. The vulture under him immediately flapped its wings and took off, flying to the shrine where Enel lived at the fastest speed possible. To be favored by the gods, both the Sky Knight and the vulture are extremely excited. After about 10 minutes, Chen Xiao flew out of the woods. A majestic god's palace came into Chen Xiao's eyes. Flying into the palace, Enel sat on the throne at the end of the hall. "You all step back," Enel ordered to the 4 priests. The 4 priests followed Enel's order, exited the hall and closed the door by the way. "Are you from the moon?" With a calm expression on his face, Ai Nilu launched his heart attack at Chen Xiao. Judging from the results, Chen Xiao had only one thought in his mind, which was to elect him to the moon god. This made Enel very excited, but his appearance was still as calm as water, showing no surprise at all. Yes, I came from the moon. Chen Xiao said, walking straight to Enel Road. I saw your sincerity and hard work on the moon, so I want to elect you as the only god on the moon. While speaking, Chen Xiao had already walked in front of Ai Nilu. The two sides looked at each other, but neither could see anything from the other's eyes. At this time, Chen Xiao kept releasing psychological hints to himself, so that he almost hypnotized himself. Ai Nilu was also spying on Chen Xiao's heart all the time, and the answers he got always satisfied him. Extend your hand. Chen Xiao said seriously. Why? Enel stretched out his left hand while questioning. Chen Xiao didn't show any excitement, and held Enelo's hand. Fruit of Thunderbolt, recorded successfully. Reminder, Devil Fruit Awakening can be awakened when the awakening degree reaches 70%, and everything becomes elemental. Fruit Awakening Progress, Thunderbolt Fruit 1%. Chen Xiao immediately had a simple understanding of the ability of the Thunderbolt Fruit, including elementalization, in his mind. The moment he touched Chen Xiao, Ai Nilu's heart for Chen Xiao was broken. Ai Nilu couldn't detect Chen Xiao's inner thoughts, which surprised him very much, but because the other party was from the moon, he didn't dare to ask questions. After Chen Xiao obtained the thunderous fruit ability, he was completely worthwhile, and he tentatively scolded Enel in his heart. The other party didn't respond, and his face was still calm. Chen Xiao suppressed the ecstasy in his heart, and said with a serious face, "A year later, there will be a man wearing a straw hat to help you go to the moon." After finishing speaking, Chen Xiao turned around and left without looking back. Although Ai Nilu behind him was very confused, he didn't stop Chen Xiao. Because after the heart network was disconnected, he was not sure how powerful the envoy from the moon was. Besides, the other party came down from the moon, so if you make a rash move and affect your future trip to the moon, the gain will outweigh the loss. For a year, he could still afford to wait. It is impossible for the other party to come to Sky Island and call him for so long just to play with him. After Chen Xiao left, Enel waited with great anticipation for the Straw Hat Man a year later. Chapter 6. Coming out of the shrine, under the reverent eyes of the four priests, Chen Xiao disappeared from their sight. At this time, the electric current in Chen Xiao's body was raging, completely blocking Ai Nilu's heart network. With a move of Chen Xiao's mind, elementalization starts. After turning on elementalization, Chen Xiao turned into a bolt of lightning. Leave the island of the gods as fast as he can. Due to the elementalization, the organs of God's Island can't hurt him at all. The speed is also faster by more than a star and a half. After the fruit ability is included in the fruit illustration book, it will give the user 1% of the fruit ability to understand and use. This allowed Chen Xiao to get started with the ability to thunder quickly, so that it would not take a long time for humans to learn to adapt to the ability of the fruit after eating the devil fruit. Chen Xiao returned to Feng Bei Weiba's position according to the route he had come from. Originally thought that after collecting the ability of the thunder fruit, he would fight with Enel and escape. Unexpectedly, his deception would scare Enel. Riding on the Feng Bei Weiba, Chen Xiao attached an electric current to the metal on the Feng Bei to isolate Enel's heart network. In order not to be discovered by Enel for returning to Weiba, it would harm conies. Riding on the Weiba again, Chen Xiao felt extremely relaxed. Possessing the ability of the thunder fruit gave the plan a good start. He is now in the first half of the Great Route, and few people can use armed domineering. At least you don't have to worry about the risk of being robbed halfway. His primary goal now is to enter the Navy. According to the functions of this body, it is absolutely no problem to enter the elite class. Come to the place where you met conies. After putting Weiba in place, Chen Xiao came to the ruins of the sailing ship destroyed by Enel. There are scattered steel parts all around, the wood has been burned to ashes, and Chen Xiao also saw a few broken human bones. Diving into the sea of clouds, Chen Xiao released an electric current all over his body, and the electric current would be guided by the metal. Electric current is most likely to be guided by gold, so Chen Xiao wanted to try to see if he could find gold. As long as it is not a paper Bailey, the gold should melt into a liquid and then solidify under the high temperature of the lightning. Using electromagnetic guidance, Chen Xiao successfully found a few pieces of gold the size of a fist. Holding the gold in his hand, Chen Xiao divided the gold into small cubes the size of a thumb, using the high temperature of the thunder and lightning. It's a pity that the money in this ship is all paper, and it was wiped out by lightning, otherwise Chen Xiao would directly become a billionaire down below. Tear off a piece of cloth from the trouser leg to make a money bag and tie it around the waist. With everything ready, Chen Xiao headed for Baihai along the Yunzishui road. Where is this? Looking at Baihai, who was surrounded by nothing but clouds, Chen Xiao asked confusedly. I obviously went down the waterway, why didn't I find the gate of heaven? Could it be that I lost my way? Because the speed of the express shrimp entering the empty island was too fast, Chen Xiao's attention was all on the slave cabin at that time, and he didn't see the route carefully. In addition, after obtaining the ability of the thunderous fruit, Chen Xiao's forgetfulness kept rushing down, and finally got lost in the White Sea. Forget it, you can go anywhere. Chen Xiao didn't care, anyway, he now has the ability to fly with the Thunderbolt fruit, and the ability is obtained from the fruit illustration book, not afraid of sea water and Halo stone. Picking out a cloud that looked good, Chen Xiao dived into the cloud. In the clouds, Chen Xiao kept diving down. Finally, after clearing the layers of clouds and mists, Chen Xiao came to an altitude of 7,000 meters above Qinghai. In the sky, Chen Xiao checked the surrounding islands for landing while freely falling. After looking around, there is not a single continent or island. However, Chen Xiao saw a small black dot moving on the vast sea. Because the distance was too far, Chen Xiao couldn't see clearly, and he couldn't be sure whether the opponent was a pirate ship, a naval warship, or a cargo ship. Anyway, it's right to go there. After a thunderclap, Chen Xiao appeared above the sea area where the ship was about to arrive. After a series of calculations by Chen Xiao, under the premise of free fall, he should land on that ship. When it fell to a low altitude of 1,000 meters, Chen Xiao could clearly see the flag and personnel on the ship. When Chen Xiao saw that the flag was the pirate flag, Chen Xiao could still accept it. But when he saw the people on the pirate ship, Chen Xiao's pupil shrank. Ace! Chen Xiao said in shock. Unexpectedly, the captain of the pirate ship turned out to be Porgas D. Ace, the son of Roger the Pirate King. Take a closer look at the pirate flag on the ship with a spade symbol. It seems that Ace has not yet joined the Whitebeard pirates at this stage. If he fights with Ace, he will definitely lose. At this stage, the Ace bounty should reach 5 million Bailey, and it has the armed color. If there is a disagreement later and a fight starts, Chen Xiao can only get into the sea. Anyway, he is not afraid of sea water, no matter how strong Ace is, he will stop eating in the sea. Look, Captain, a man fell from the sky. A crew member on Ace's ship pointed at Chen Xiao in the sky and shouted. Oh! Ace looked at Chen Xiao who was in free fall in the sky. Where did that person fall from? Could it be the legendary empty island? Someone reminded Ace. Interesting. Hearing that the other party came down from an unknown empty island, Ace's curiosity was aroused. When Chen Xiao was only 100 meters away from the sea, Ace turned into a ball of flames and flew into the sky, catching Chen Xiao who was falling. Burning fruit, recorded successfully. Fruit awakening progress, burn fruit 1%. At this time, Chen Xiao, who was pretending to be in a coma, had mixed feelings in his heart, and he didn't know whether it was good luck or bad luck. 2 fruits were collected in one day, and they were all powerful natural elements. Regardless of luck, Chen Xiao planned to pretend to be unconscious for a while, so as not to arouse suspicion. Ace carried Chen Xiao back to the pirate ship. Putting Chen Xiao on the deck, St brought a bucket of water and splashed it on Chen Xiao's face. After being splashed with water, Chen Xiao pretended to wake up groggy. "Hey, are you all right?" Ace squatted in front of Chen Xiao and said with a smile. Where is this?" Chen Xiao said vaguely. "This is the Great Root, did you come down from the empty island?" Ace's eyes lit up, and he asked impatiently. Looking at Ace's eyes that were about to turn into stars, Chen Xiao nodded. "Are you really from Sky Island? Tell me what's on Sky Island." Hearing that Chen Xiao really came from Sky Island, Ace became even more excited. "Can we talk while eating?" Chen Xiao touched his shriveled stomach, he hadn't eaten all day. "Hey, Bonsi, bring me something to eat." Ace shouted at a bold female pirate behind him. After the female pirate named Bangzi was ordered by Ace, she entered the cabin and made an indescribable sound, then brought out a plate of uncooked noodles and handed it to Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao took the plate, looked at this plate of noodles with ridiculously different prices, swallowed, and took a sip. "So salty." Chen Xiao gritted his teeth and said, "This mouthful of noodles must be accompanied by at least 3 sips of water to swallow." "Sorry, our chef only adds salt when cooking." Ace scratched the back of his head and laughed. The woman named Bangzi angrily handed Chen Xiao a large bottle of water. Chen Xiao barely ate a plate of noodles with water. Chapter 7. After filling his stomach, Chen Xiao looked at Ace with pity. Ace's life is also a hard life. He didn't have a good life for a few years, and he still has such a grievance chef. "I stumbled and fell off the Sky Island, the Sky Island has." For the next period of time, Chen Xiao told Ace what he saw and heard on Sky Island, anime. "You can go and see it if you have a chance." "Oh. If we have a chance, we must go and have a look." Ace shouted happily to the crew beside him. Hearing Ace's words, Chen Xiao smiled helplessly, probably Ace would have no chance in this life. "By the way, I forgot to tell you, we are the Spades Pirates, and my name is Podicus D. Ace. Don't worry, we won't hurt you." Ace said with a standard smile of the D family. Chen Xiao pondered for a while and said, "My name is Xiao, an adventurer who has traveled the world." The predecessor's name was Xiao, and it happened that Chen Xiao also had Xiao in his name, so he might as well call him this name from now on. "Where are you going next?" Xiao looked at Ace and asked. "Next, I'm going to meet the 4 emperors with red hair. Shanks, are you with us?" Based on Ace's answer, Xiao roughly calculated the timeline. After seeing Shanks, Ace will fight Hixia Jinbei, and then he will board Whitebeard's ship and serve as the captain of the second team. "I won't go, you can just find an island and put me down, and I will pay you." "Alright," Kars takes him to the cabin. A man with a gloomy face wearing a skull necklace giggled and walked up to Xiao. "Hey, hello, my name is Kars, and my hobby is collecting skeletons." Kars stretched out his hand and pulled up the sitting owl. Feeling the cold touch of his palm, Xiao looked at the other party with a little hostility. "Hey, Kars, don't scare him." "Sorry, Kars is not a bad guy, but his personality is a bit dark." Ace patted Xiao's shoulder with a smile. Perhaps because of the inclusion of the ability to burn fruit, after being touched by Ace, Owl's body temperature rose slightly. Led by Kars, Owl entered the cabin. "Over there is the toilet, over there is the bathroom." Kars introduced to Xiao with a look of enthusiasm. "This is your room." Kars opened the door and handed the key to Chen Xiao. "Call me if something happens." After Xiao entered the room, Kars closed the door. After Kars left, Xiao breathed a sigh of relief and came to the bed to lie down. Xiao, who was lying on the bed, stretched out his hands, and with a move of his mind, a flame burst out from his left hand, and a blue electric current like a thin rope rose from the heart of his right hand. When God opens a door for you, he also opens the window. My luck is really good. Double fruit at the beginning, ability depends entirely on touch. Xiao pointed to the iron nail on the door with his right hand, and the current flowed down his fingers and attached to the iron nail, ensuring that he could find out immediately after someone opened the door. After completing the protective work, Xiao yawned deeply and closed his eyes. In the early morning, the owl was awakened by the cry of seagulls. Sunlight shines into the room through the windows. Xiao rubbed his eyes, slowly got up, and looked out through the window. In the sleepy eyes, Xiao narrowed his eyes slightly. There seemed to be a small black spot in the far distance. Xiao opened the window, looked over carefully, and confirmed that it was an island. Just as he was getting dressed and ready to go out, wind chimes and men's shouts came from outside the door. "Hey, I found a new island!" Standing on the bow, Ace yelled into the cabin. Immediately, several people came out of the cabin, including Xiao. Ace stepped off the bow and threw the binoculars in his hand to Owl. "Look, do you want to be put down on that island?" Xiao took the binoculars and looked at the black spot in the distance. The island in the distance is not so much an island as a ring of islands. 10 small islands form a circle, and the trees on the island are sparse, and each tree is long and slender. Xiao was a little confused at first, but when he saw a dog, he confirmed his guess. That island is called Long Chain Island. Due to strange geographical factors, all creatures on Long Chain Island are very long. Just like the dog in Xiao's eyes that was tens of meters long and looked like a pole. That island is called Long Chain Island, and all creatures on the island are very long. Xiao explained to everyone. "You are amazing, you understand all of this." Ace praised, and he couldn't wait to go to the island to see it. Turned the bow and sailed for a while. I chose a relatively gentle coast and dropped anchor. As soon as the boat stopped, Ace turned into a ball of fire and flew to the island. Owl followed, leaping from the boat onto the island. A seagull with a wingspan of tens of meters passed over the owl's head. Ace happily lay down on a white bear standing 9 meters tall. Ice Bear looked calm, as if he didn't care about the person hanging on his body. The dog, tens of meters long, circled the owl before leaving. Xiao looked at the white dog with great interest. It was like a dog-headed snake suspended in the low sky. The wonderful creatures in the world of One Piece are really interesting. Xiao hammered the big tree beside him, and the huge apples on the tree fell. Xiao caught a few apples and took a bite. Tastes just like regular apples. Then Xiao threw apples at several people around him. "Ha ha ha, why is this apple so long?" Ace laughed and took a bite. The white bear under him realized that there was a person lying on his body. It spun violently to throw Ace off, and then left angrily. Ace, who was thrown to the ground, got up and looked excitedly at the huge creatures around him. The other crew members also laughed curiously. Xiao ignored Ace and the others having fun on the island, and walked towards the interior of the island. "I remember there was an old man on stilts and a yurt here." Seeing Xiao's behavior was abnormal, Ace followed behind him. "Ace, what is the reason why you became a pirate?" Xiao asked boredly. Hearing Xiao's question, Ace thought for a while. Maybe it was influenced by some idiot, or maybe... "Maybe what?" Xiao asked, but he already had the answer in his heart. "It's nothing, galloping the sea, being the freest person, exploring the treasure of the One Piece, these are the opportunities for me to become a pirate." "What's the difference between this and an adventurer?" Xiao asked again. "It's cooler to be a pirate, isn't it?" "Maybe." Xiao ended the conversation and ran towards the 2 moving bamboos in the distance. Ace followed closely behind Xiao. When he came to the moving bamboo, the owl stepped up and kicked the bamboo to pieces. After the bamboo was broken, a little old man fell to the ground from a high altitude. After the dust and mist cleared, the relieved old man lay on his back in front of Xiao. Looking at the calm old man, Ace tilted his head slightly. Who is this? Chapter 8. Hey, are you a bamboo elf? Ace asked, squatting beside the old man. Of course I remember you. The old man suddenly sat up and said. It's been a long time, how are you all? Your acquaintance? Ace looked at Xiao. I don't know him. Xiao shook his head. Ah, no wonder you don't look like you've seen me. Are you just talking? Who are you, uncle? Ace complained. The old man stood up, patted the dust off his body, and said, My name is Dongjite, thank you for getting me off the stilts. Why are you on stilts? Ace wondered. In the past, I planned to challenge the world's highest record for walking on stilts, so I made 2 tallest bamboo stilts. Although I succeeded in going up, I couldn't get down because I was afraid of heights. Are you an idiot? Uncle. Ace continued to complain. Then I spent 10 years on stilts, living off the apples in the trees. Sounds so hard. Ace grinned, he couldn't understand for a while. Come to my house, I will treat you well. Dongjite waved at Xiao and Ace. Xiao and Ace followed Dongjite to his yurt-like house. Open the door, the room cannot be said to be barren, there is nothing. Except for a few tables and cabinets, it was clean, as if no one lived there all year round. Where's my food? Dongjite asked in a panic. Xiao was speechless for a while, found a stool to sit down, and gnawed the apple in his hand. Eventually Dongjite found a 10-year-old cheese. Is this edible? Uncle. Ace looked suspiciously at the cheese that looked like poop. I have lived on the island for 10 years and my stomach is invincible. Dongji nodded, and Ace grabbed a piece of cheese and put it in their mouths. In the end, both of them fainted from food poisoning. Xiao sighed, went outside and called the ship doctor. After Ace and Dongjit were cured, the other crew members of the pirates began to pack apples in sacks to supplement freshwater resources at sea. With half the cabin full, the crew began calling for Ace. Here we come. Ace waved to everyone. Then we're leaving, take care. Ace looked at Xiao beside him. Hey, your reward. Xiao called to Ace, took out 2 pieces of gold from his pocket and threw them to Ace. Ace catches the gold and flies back to the pirate ship. After Ace returned to the ship, the pirate ship pulled anchor and set sail. Standing at the stern, Ace waved to the owl on the coast and shouted, Thank you, see you next time, let's go to Sky Island together. Watching the sailboat drifting away, Xiao didn't reply. The next time we meet again, we will probably be at the top. After Ace left, Xiao murmured. The pirate ship gradually disappeared from Xiao's sight, and the sea surface returned to its former calm. Staying on a small island with only one old man, Xiao is not afraid of being seen by others. He began to get used to the 2 fruit abilities that had just been recorded. Xiao wanted to see how powerful 1% of the fruit awakening progress could be. Raising his hands, the owl sensed the surrounding world. He's going to try to draw out the thunder and lightning in the sky. Under Xiao's guidance, a small group of dark clouds appeared in the sky. At this time, Xiao's whole body began to tremble. It was still too difficult for him to draw out the thunder when he used the thunder fruit ability for the first time. The mental and physical strength of the body is rapidly depleting. Sensing the rapid formation of thunder and lightning inside the dark cloud, Xiao tried his best to instill mental and physical strength into the thunder and lightning contained in the dark cloud. 3 seconds later, Xiao's pupil shrank, and he swung his hands violently. Boom! A 3-meter-thick bolt of lightning suddenly descended from the dark clouds far away and landed on the sea surface, causing water to splash in all directions. Just making a very thin sky thunder drained most of Xiao's physical and mental strength. It seems that Tianlong still has a long way to go if he wants to reach the stage of Enel. In order to regain his strength, Xiao crazily ate the apples he had hoarded around him. After eating more than 20 apples, although he was full, the vitamins contained in the apples were not enough to make up for Xiao's lost physical strength. If you want to recover quickly, you have to rely on protein, that is, meat. Xiao, who barely recovered half of his physical strength, came outside Dongjit's yurt. Uncle Dongjit, do you have any delicious animals here? Dongjit heard that the owl was going to prey on the animals on the island, so he hurried out to stop it. Don't eat the animals on the island, or you will grow up like them. Hearing that his body would grow longer, Xiao couldn't help shivering. Fortunately, I asked Dongjit in advance, otherwise I would become a giraffe. If it wasn't for this reason, my people would not have left this island. Dongjit sighed. Then do you have any fishing gear such as fishing nets? Have. After Dongjit finished speaking, he rummaged through the cabinet to find a large net and gave it to Xiao. Thank you. Xiao came to the beach with a big net. Activate the fruit ability to fly into the sky and cast down the fishing net. The fishing net was thrown into the sea, and the owl waited in the sky for 2 or 3 minutes before activating his ability. An electric current was released from the palm of the hand, and the electric current penetrated into the sea. The electric current diffuses extremely fast in the water, and within a short while this small sea area is filled with electric current that is enough to stun the fish. After ensuring that the current spread is in place, the owl dives into the water and throws the stunned fish into the net. After 5 minutes, the net was full of fish. The owl emerged from the water and hauled the net laden with fish into the shallow sea. Picking a dozen big fish from the net, Xiao came to Uncle Dongjit's yurt. Hey, Uncle, I caught some fish and I'll give you some. Seeing that Xiao came to deliver fish to him, Dongjit was overwhelmed with gratitude. It's been 10 years, and I can finally eat a bite of meat. Looking at Dongjit's reaction, Xiao felt that it was reasonable. After all, he would go crazy if he didn't eat meat for a year, let alone eat apples for 10 consecutive years. Leave from Dongjit yurt and come to the coast. Xiao took out the fish from the fishing net and started to roast it. There are only 2 seasonings around, apple and sea salt. It tastes amazing when mixed together. After eating 10 big fish in a row, Xiao's stomach bulged slightly. Now he still can't return his life, eating so much is his limit. Eat and drink enough, and my physical strength has basically recovered. Owl began to experiment with the ability to burn fruit. Experimenting with the ability to burn fruit is nothing more than seeing how big a fireball you can create. Xiao opened his arms, and flames ignited in his palms, and the 2 flames gathered upwards to form a fireball. As the fireballs piled up, Xiao's mental and physical strength were also consumed exponentially. While increasing the size of the fireball, it is necessary to maintain the existence of the fireball. In the end, Owl tried his best to create a fireball with a diameter of 3 meters. The fireball remained in the air for 5 seconds before being extinguished. As the fireball was extinguished, Xiao lay powerlessly on the ground. This is his limit now. As dusk fell, the bright moon climbed into the sky, and the stars gathered into a galaxy. Looking at the starry sky, Xiao shouted with the remaining physical strength, I will change this world. Chapter 9. In the morning, the chirping of seagulls and the sound of waves crashing on the shore wake up the owl. Because the ability to burn fruit can ensure that the owl's body temperature will not pass, so he is not afraid of low temperature and humidity. Sleeping in the open air in the wild is extraordinarily comfortable. This is his 2nd day on the island. After getting up, Xiao first went to say hello to Uncle Dongjit and ask how long it will take for boats to pass the island. To get the answer, there will be ships passing by on average every 3 to 5 days. This made Xiao heave a sigh of relief. If a ship comes in a month or 2, it will be troublesome. After breakfast, Xiao started a day of high-intensity practice. Time is tight, he only has 1 year. It is not easy to be promoted from a lieutenant officer to a lieutenant general. Fortunately, the predecessor laid the foundation for this body. If Xiao wants to start from scratch, the top war has nothing to do with him. First spend 2 hours running 1000 back and forth along the 30-meter coastline. After running, Xiao used his remaining physical strength to eat 10 big fish to quickly recover his physical strength, and he could also exercise to return his life. After recovering his physical strength, Xiao started to do push-ups until his physical strength was exhausted. At around 12-11 noon, Xiao's physical strength was exhausted again, and he desperately ate more fish. This time I ate 1 more than last time, which represents an increase in the return of life from exercise. The human body in pirate world is outrageous. Overdraft training and overeating will not damage your body at all, as long as you can recover in time. Physical strength is recharged like a battery. Xiao began to train fighting skills and physical strength. The specific method is to continuously beat trees with fists, feet, knees, and elbows. The bones and body were beaten stronger than yesterday. Until dusk, the owl interrupted more than 20 big trees in a row. When the 20th tree fell, the owl fell with it. Use rest to digest the results of the day's training. Such high-intensity training is hitting Xiao's physical limit all the time. On the top of the world in this world, a strong physique is the only criterion. For monsters like Kaido and Big Mom, the most useful thing to deal with them is domineering, physical strength and continuous physical strength. Fruit abilities are always just supportive. Top powerhouses like Garp, Roger, and Rayleigh are all people who can aspire to the top of the world without fruit ability. After resting for half an hour, Xiao got up again. After eating the 4th meal of the day, Xiao began to train and realize the fruit ability. The first is to perform a daily strike, creating a thunderbolt to strike the sea. After that, he tried his best to condense a fireball larger than yesterday. After completing these 2 trainings, Xiao lay down on his back, thinking about how to develop the fruit ability, and how to match the fruit ability to erupt more powerful combat power in battle. The night is getting dark. In the morning, Xiao got up early as usual. After breakfast, Xiao took up the fishing net, and went to the sea farther from the coastline to cast another net. Wait for the fish to swim into the net. Xiao took off his stained clothes, revealing his delicate and angular body. While washing clothes, wash away the dirt all over your body. While washing his back, Xiao touched the slave brand branded by the Tianlong people. Xiao's eyes sharpened, his pupils turned red, and he was thinking about something. Collect the fishing nets, dry the clothes, and return to the island. Standing on the coastline, Xiao looked at the endless sea and took a deep breath. Take 2 gold bars from the purse, melt them down and reshape them into cylinders. Biting the gold in his mouth, Xiao's palm melted into flames. Reduce the heat enough to carve the meat. Attach the palm to the side of the slave mark, on the left shoulder blade. The fusion of fire and blood produces a sizzling sound. Da's sweat broke out from Xiao's forehead, and was evaporated by the high temperature. The gold nugget in Xiao's mouth was about to be bitten into pieces. But the pain from the back was far worse than the heartache I remembered from those 2 years. Xiao resisted the pain of the fire, and changed the slave mark. It was not possible to enter the navy as a slave. The moment the branding was changed, the gold bar was bitten to pieces by the owl. Looking up at the sky, Xiao let out a roar that shocked the world. Flames and thunder sputtered out from his body. The sea waves flowed against the current, the birds flew in shock, and the land around the owl was shattered and fell into the sea. He himself floats in the air, like a god woven of fire and thunder. Perhaps it was a momentary loss of emotional control that stimulated the potential in Xiao's body. Fruit awakening progress, Thunderbolt fruit 2%, burning fruit 2%. The momentary loss of control increased the fruit's ability to 2%. The understanding and application of the fruit's ability in Xiao's mind, as well as the strength of the ability, also strengthened with the progress of the fruit's awakening. Xiao, who returned to the ground, endured the pain and tried to create a sky thunder. A bigger cloud gathers in the sky. Boom! 2 thunderbolts fell, and the power of the thunderbolts was almost the same as before, except that one became 2. If Xiao wanted to, he could combine the 2 thunderbolts into one more powerful thunderbolt. Then Xiao tried the strength of the flame again. Like the previous Tianli, he can now make 2 huge fireballs. The fireballs merged into one in Xiao's hands, merging into a larger and more powerful fireball. Fire punch! Xiao tried to shout, and pushed the fireball far away to explode with one punch. The light from the explosion of the fireball was transmitted to the crew of a large ship in the distance. "Look, Captain! Something exploded in there!" The crew member shouted at the captain beside him. "Ha! Let me see!" A butt-haired red-nosed man took a telescope from the crew member and looked at the beach where Owl was. "No way, don't lie to me. There are, but you didn't catch up. Then why not go and have a look, Fafa? Foxy the Silver Fox laughed. The huge fox-headed pirate ship turned around and headed for Longchain Island. Foxy held the binoculars and kept staring at the direction the crew had mentioned before, when a fast-moving figure flashed past his vision. Foxy immediately followed after seeing someone on the island. 15. You run really fast. Looking at the bare-chested owl with exquisite muscles and powerful steps, Foxy smiled wickedly. On the island, Xiao, who was still running back and forth along the coastline, didn't know that he had been targeted. As the huge ship appeared on the sea level, Owl also spotted the Foxy Pirates in the distance. Looking at the extremely ugly fan, Xiao quickly thought of the other party's identity. "It's that guy." The running owl murmured, but didn't stop. The captain of the pirate ship in the distance is Silver Fox Foxy, who has the slow fruit ability. A sleazy fellow who likes to recruit crews with unfair games. But he is more magnanimous to the crew, and he is considered a good captain. The running owl has no intention of running away, he wants to collect Foxy's slow fruit ability. The ability of that fruit can restrain fast people, especially the yellow ape. Naturally, such a god-level fruit owl did not intend to let it go. Chapter 10. Soon, the Foxy Pirates docked. 2 massive foxpaw anchors landed on the shore. Xiao also finished running back and forth at this time, standing a little far away from the pirate ship, panting heavily. Coffee. If you haven't seen him, hear his voice first. Foxy led the crew to the coast. Wow, what a handsome little brother, come to our Foxy Pirates. Polky, who was wearing a snowball hat, said loudly in a whiny voice. Xiao ignored the other party, but straightened his hair and restored his breath to normal. Hey, little brother over there, did you make that explosion light just now? Foxy the Silver Fox walked not far from the owl and asked. What kind of explosion light? I don't know. Xiao turned his head away, with an innocent expression on his face. You must have done it, there is no one else on this island except you. A young pirate jumped out from behind Foxy and said. Forget it, it doesn't matter if he made it up or not. Foxy waved his hand at the young pirate. I saw you running just now, the speed is not slow, why don't you join our Silver Fox Pirates? Foxy issued an invitation to board the boat bluntly. Does your pirate group rely on running speed to recruit crew members? Xiao said disdainfully. Hey, don't be ignorant of flattery, our captain personally invited you. Seeing Xiao's disdain, people around Foxy immediately jumped. Fafa, I just like people who don't give in easily. Foxy walked up to Xiao, stretched out his hand, and said, how about we have a match? Xiao knocked down Foxy's outstretched hand with a wave. Slow fruit, recorded successfully. Fruit awakening progress, 1%. After collecting the slow fruit ability, Xiao's heart suddenly throbbed. Ding, the reward system is awakened and a milestone is reached. 3 devil fruits are collected. Reward: 12 crafts of the supreme quick knife black knife dark biter. Comment: biting dark bears the lord. The more enemies you defeat, the stronger your own strength and the sharper your blade. Defeated enemy: 0. A knife suddenly appeared in Xiao's hand out of thin air. Looking at the exquisite black patterned scabbard, Xiao held the knife in both hands and pulled out the blade. The knife came out of its sheath, and the jet black blade with its slightly brown blade came into Xiao's eyes. The 2 sides of the knife have different patterns. One side is composed of flowers, thunder, and fire, and the other side is composed of dragons, tigers, and black clouds. Throwing away the cold blade is like a work of art. Seeing the sudden appearance of the black knife, Foxy took a few steps back. Where did that knife come from? Foxy yelled. The people around Foxy also rubbed their eyes, not knowing when the knife appeared in Xiao's hand. In Xiao's perception, the knife seemed to be stripped from his body. Holding it in his hand is as if it has become a part of his body, and he can drive it freely. Even if he doesn't know how to use a knife yet. Are you asking me to be a swordsman? Xiao whispered. After fully adapting to biting darkness, Xiao looked at Foxy in the distance, and said, "It's just a little trick, nothing unusual." Hearing Xiao's reply, Foxy calmed down the shock in his heart. "It's really a good knife," Foxy praised. "It's a pity that you don't join my pirate group. How about it? Join my pirate group and use it for me." Foxy extended the invitation again. Xiao shook his head. "I'm not fit to be disciplined. Since this is the case, how about we have a hearty game? If I beat you, you have to be my crew member. If you win me, you can replace me as the captain of this pirate group." "I reject." Xiao took the bite and was about to leave, and he also got the slow fruit ability. He would not be stupid enough to participate in Foxy's completely unfair competition. "Okay. The captain's heads-up match, the game begins." Foxy suddenly yelled, and a giant with a mace jumped out from behind him and attacked Xiao. Xiao sighed, "What a despicable guy." Just when the mace was about to fall from the top of Xiao's head, Xiao suddenly turned around, pulled out Bian and swung the knife to slash. In front of the sharp blade that gnawed at iron like mud, the top of the mace was split in 2. After the mace was severed, the giant holding the mace lost his balance and fell forward. Xiao seized the opportunity, leaped high, and kicked the giant on the jaw. The giant who fell forward was kicked by Xiao's huge force and fell backwards, and fell unconscious on the back of his head. "Hamburger!" Porky yelled at the fallen giant. "You lost. Go back wherever you came from." Xiao left a word and was about to leave. Boom, boom, boom. Before Xiao took 2 steps, the sound of the earth shaking came from behind him again. He. Piculus laughed wildly, with spikes on the armor on his shoulders, and charged at Owl. Xiao turned around in time to avoid the collision of Piculus. "You've already lost, scumbags!" Xiao shouted to Foxy who was pretending to be asleep in the distance. No, this is a captain's heads-up match. All of us are captains, and you will be singled out. Yidamimes explained to Xiao with a microphone. "Tch." Xiao snorted coldly, knowing that the game would not be that simple. "Then you mean that I can leave as long as I win all of you one-on-one, right?" Xiao's expression turned unruly, and he moved his body. Could it be that he is very powerful? Foxy, who was pretending to be asleep, asked in a low voice. Of course Xiao would not be so stupid as to beat more than 400 of them by himself. He is not that strong yet. He just wanted to rely on fighting to improve his strength. When the time is right, he has plenty of ways to escape. In the second round, Picurus, the second tallest of the Foxy Pirates, will fight. Yidamimes, who was acting as the referee, shouted. Everyone in the surrounding Foxy Pirates immediately joined in the carnival. After Piculus's collision was avoided by Xiao just now, he began to circle around Xiao, waiting for the opportunity to find Xiao's weakness. Xiao withdrew the bite, and stuck it in his waist. He still doesn't know swordsmanship yet, and his fists, knees, elbows, and legs are his main weapons. He also doesn't plan to expose the fruit ability prematurely. After all, geniuses are easily killed in the cradle. If the world knows that he is a thunder fruit ability user, then he will not live in peace in the future. Seeing Xiao take back the knife, Piculus immediately laughed wildly and charged at Xiao. He. Listening to the sharp and piercing laughter, Owl braced himself for the impact. Bang! A sound of metal impact came from the position where the owl and Piculus came into contact. At this moment, the veins in Xiao's hands popped out, and he firmly grasped the iron spikes on Piculus' shoulder armor. The two sides began to wrestle. 4 or 5 times larger than the owl, Piculus exerted all his strength, pressing forward a little bit. The land under Xiao's feet was carved out by him with 2 ravines. The opponent's strength is indeed great, but Xiao is just testing how much strength he needs to deal with Piculus. He hasn't tried his best yet. Chapter 11. The wrestling between the two sides lasted about 20 seconds. After confirming that Piculus' strength could only reach half of his full strength, Xiao let go sideways to avoid Piculus' impact. Piculus, who ran a few steps forward, stopped the car, turned to look in Xiao's direction, but couldn't find where the Xiao was. "He's up there!" Foxy yelled. "Didn't you bastard fall asleep?" the owl in the sky cursed loudly. I love to talk in my sleep," Foxy said vaguely. After being prompted, Piculus looked up. But it was too late. Xiao punched Piculus in the face with a punch that fell from the sky, and the latter was stunned by the punch. Just as Piculus was in a daze and stumbling around, the landed owl kicked Piculus' ankle. Piculus, whose center of gravity was unstable, fell heavily to the ground and passed out. As soon as Piculus fell, the owl's position was covered by a black shadow. Xiao looked up, and a murloc-like giant in the sky covered Xiao's perspective. Bai Kupanda hit the ground with a bang, smashed the ground into a big hole. After Bai Kupanda got up, he didn't find Xiao in the pothole. Outside the pothole, Owl punched Bai Kupanda in the left rib. When the fist touched Bai Kupanda's skin, it did not cause any damage, but slid sideways. As a murloc, Bai Kupanda's skin is too slippery, making it difficult to deal effective damage. It has to be attacked on the corners, that is, his big face. Sitting on the ground, Bai Kupanda took out 2 iron pans and threw them at the owl on the ground. Xiao dodged all the attacks of Bai Kupanda while moving around. Seizing the opportunity, Xiao stepped on the pan that Bai Kupanda had dropped, and with the power of Bai Kupanda raising his hand, he rose into the sky. He inadvertently used the power of the fruit to adjust his position in the air, and kicked Bai Kupanda's left eye. Ow! Bai Kupanda covered his left eye, which was almost blinded by Xiao's kick, with one hand, and waved his other hand wildly at Xiao. It is difficult for an owl in the air to adjust its position significantly. With the thrust of Bai Kupanda's big hand, the owl was swung into the air and landed on a tree in the distance. I didn't expect the wheel battle to have no effect on him. Foxy looked helplessly at the extremely flexible Xiao. Although the 3 giants are powerful, compared to Kupanda's loach skin, the owl is more like the loach that is difficult to catch. Bai Kupanda forced him to come here. Foxy called out to Bai Kupanda. He is ready to launch the privilege of side support. After receiving the order, Bai Kupanda walked towards the owl with heavy steps. Since there were no trees to move around, the owl could only wait for the moment when Bai Kupanda approached him. When the distance between the two sides was less than 5 meters, Xiao suddenly jumped up, intending to kill Bai Kupanda's other eye. Unexpectedly, Bai Kupanda turned his head and received Xiao's punch with his injured left eye. By sacrificing his left eye, Bai Kupanda was able to capture Xiao. The caught owl can easily break free. After all, the slippery skin is a double-edged sword. It is difficult for others to catch you, and it is also difficult for you to catch others. Freed from Pakupanda's hand, the owl was about to fall to the ground. Bang! Paikupanda kicked the owl away. Bearing the giant's foot, Xiao spat out a mouthful of blood, and at the same time flew towards the crowd of Foxy Pirates. Slow light. Foxy made a gesture to release the slowing ability to the owl in the sky. The owl who can't dodge is directly hit by the slow light, and freezes in the sky, and the slow effect will last for 30 seconds. Watching Xiao being fixed, Paikupanda ran to Xiao's position again. 23 seconds had passed by the time Paikupanda ran under the owl. There are still 7 seconds until Xiao regains his freedom. Picking up the iron plate again, Paikupanda leaped vigorously, and the iron plate smashed the owl into the sky. After being hit, the owl was released from the slow state 2 seconds later, and hit the ground heavily. With such a serious injury, he should be able to succumb. 15. Foxy the Silver Fox laughed. Hey, asshead, tell me who gave in. The soil mist where Xiao fell dissipated, and Xiao, whose face was covered in blood, slowly got up and taunted. Foxy, who was called Butthead, fell into depression instantly, and knelt on the ground in depression. Without personal attack, despicable guy. No bottom line. Shameful. Everyone in Foxy Pirates booed. Xiao is too lazy to care about the ridicule of everyone. Since the other party has used the fruit ability, he has to return the favor. Pulling out the bite, Xiao took 3 steps and 2 steps to the feet of the monk panda, and stabbed the knife in the leg of the monk panda. When Paikupanda was in pain, he held the swallowing Xiao and swung himself to the door of Paikupanda. Punch him between the eyebrows. Boom! The monk panda, who was more than 10 meters tall, fell down suddenly, his eyes turned white, and he lost consciousness. In the 3rd round, Paikupanda lost, the referee shouted. Defeated enemy, 3. Every time an enemy is defeated, whether it is with fists or bites, some power will be fed back to Xiao's body, making him stronger as he fights. Part of the power fed back to Xiao will be passed on to Bianan. Let the sharp blade of Chuan become sharper and reach the state of endless cutting. Pulled out the bite, wiped off the blood on the blade with his sleeve. How about the butthead, who else wants to play? Foxy, who had just regained a good mood, was scolded again to the point of being autistic. Hey, don't insult our captain! Barukai shouted angrily. Asshead, asshead, asshead! Foxy lying on the ground muttered to himself. If there's no one, get lost, asshead! Ha 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 ha, the captain asked me to deal with him. The Murloc Kabodi flew up to Xiao. Look at my Murloc karate. Bakati performed the unique art of the Murlocs, Murloc karate. Xiao retracted his bite, and was ready for a fist-to-flesh battle. Sharkwei Zhengchuan. Bakati punched him head-on. Xiao also punched him. Fighting against each other, Bakati took a step back, his fist bone was slightly fractured. Xiao retracted his fist, stepped forward and hit Bakati with a roundabout kick on the left rib. Bakati was kicked upside down, and 2 ribs were broken. Murloc karate is indeed a good combat skill, but it also depends on who uses it. Xiao can handle such a third-rate stuff like this. Slow light. Using the Murloc Bakati as a cover, Foxy shot a slow beam again and hit the owl. After holding Xiao down, Foxy ran up to Xiao with his gloves on. After punching and kicking, Xiao almost lost his fighting power. The navy is coming. The lookout on the pirate ship shouted after spotting a naval warship in the distance. In an instant, all the pirates fled into the pirate ship in a hurry, and Foxy, who was half beaten, was no exception. Everyone returned to the cabin in less than 20 seconds. Go! Foxy yelled. The fox-headed pirate ship pulled anchor and set sail in an instant, running faster than a rabbit. The warship in the distance spotted the pirate ship and immediately turned around to chase after it. Suddenly a few Neptunes jumped out of the sea. One of them came straight for the owl. At this time, Xiao, who had just lifted the dull effect, was about to launch elementalization to evade this Neptune. Swish! A beautiful figure in the far distance came to Xiao accompanied by the sound of the sword breaking the sky. Peach Rabbit! Xiao murmured, and lost his strength and fell into a coma. Chapter 12. Waking up in a daze, the wooden ceiling appeared in Xiaoxio's eyes. Feeling the pain all over his body, Xiao slowly got up. Looking at the bandaged body, Xiao suddenly turned his head to look at the bedside. Chuan is gone. Xiao climbed out of bed with all his strength, and opened the door tremblingly. Coming out of the room, the strong sunlight in the sky made it difficult for Xiao to focus his sight for a while. In a trance, a pair of long, beautiful snow-white legs swayed not far in front of her. It seemed to be walking towards him. As the long legs got closer, Xiao saw a conspicuous spider tattoo on the root of his thigh. Is your body all right? A sassy female voice came from the front. My knife, give it back to me. Xiao made a difficult voice. No, don't push yourself too hard, this is a naval warship. Jun handed Bian to Xiao. After Xiao took Bian and back, one of them lost his footing and fell into Jun's arms. Feeling the soft touch, Xiao passed out happily again. Cough cough. Jun coughed twice, and under the watchful eyes of all the female sailors around him, he helped Xiao back to the bed. Yo, Miss Jun is so lucky to be able to get in close contact with the handsome guy. Someone booed. Go and clean the warship if you have nothing to do, don't talk nonsense here. Jun let out an angry roar of displeasure, put on the cloak of justice and came to the bow of the warship. Holding Bian in his arms, Xiao fell asleep on the bed again. At night, Xiao slowly opened his eyes, and the pain in his body eased a lot, and it also allowed him to think clearly about the current situation. I am in the infirmary of the naval ship Vice Admiral Jun. Beg Grandpa, tell Grandma finally stepped into the threshold of the navy. Xiao sat on the head of the bed, with Bian flat on his lap. At this moment, the door of the infirmary opened. Those familiar long legs came into Xiao's eyes again. Dressed in pink, with her hair coiled up, a beauty mole on the corner of her mouth, and a gentle face with a touch of sharpness, Jun sat cross-legged on the seat in front of Xiao's bed. Your sword is not bad, perhaps much better than my Jinpira. As soon as Jun entered the door, his gaze was locked on Bian. As a swordsman, it is inevitable that he will be overwhelmed when he encounters a masterpiece like Chuan. I got it from a treasure hunt. Xiao responded. Are you a pirate? Jun asked tentatively. I'm an adventurer. I don't steal or grab. Traveling the world shouldn't be considered a pirate. I'm Admiral Jun of the Navy headquarters. What's your name? My name is Xiao. Has the group of pirates I encountered been caught? Sorry, because a group of sea kings suddenly appeared, they escaped. Jun said apologetically. No need to apologize, thank you for saving me, that's enough for me. It is the duty of the Navy to protect the weak, and we will send you home afterward. I'll send someone to bring you dinner later, take a good rest. After Jun asked about Xiao's basic information, he got up and planned to leave. Jun, who walked to the door, was stopped by the owl. I want to join the Navy. Hearing Xiao's request, Jun's eyes turned cold. What's the reason? Jun asked seriously. I have no fixed place to live, and the sea is dominated by pirates and navies. Adventurers are caught in the middle and cannot survive. If I have to choose a camp, I want to enter the Navy. Xiao also looked serious, and his words were sincere, without any falsehood. I'll give you an answer when the ship docks. Jun left a message and walked out the door. Coming out of the infirmary, Jun looked outside the door at the two female sailors in charge of intelligence. His name is Xiao, go and find out about him. Yes. One of the female sailors responded holding a portrait of Enel. Not long after, the nurse in the infirmary brought dinner for 3 people. After wolfing down the food, Xiao felt that he was still not full. Is there any more? Xiao looked at the nurse sincerely. How much more? The little nurse grinned, looking at the boy who seemed to have not eaten for a month. Let's serve another 7 people. Well. The news that Xiao wanted food for 7 people reached Jun. It doesn't matter, let him eat enough. If this boy's status is okay, he will be a member of our Navy family in the future. How can we let the family not have enough to eat? Jun waved his hands, looking in a good mood. This young man named Xiao is a good seed in the eyes of Jun. It may become the pillar of the Navy in the future. In the infirmary, after finishing the dinner for 10 people, Xiao burped in satisfaction. Overeating can make his body recover quickly. If it weren't for the injury, Xiao would want to go out and do some high-intensity training now, to vent the power that he has nowhere to release after eating. Do you men eat so much? Next to Xiao, a little nurse who looked only about 16 years old asked timidly. The strong eat a lot. Xiao replied with a smile. Are you strong? Xiao nodded without humility, I'm strong. Then you will still be beaten like this. Owl. This little girl doesn't seem to be very good at talking. Don't give yourself a step down at all. I was beaten like this because. In the following time, Xiao told the little girl how he was attacked by someone after winning all 4 against one enemy. In the morning, it was just dawn. Feeling the restlessness in his body, Xiao got up early. The body has fully recovered, and lying down is just a waste of time. With biting in hand, Xiao came to a deserted place at the stern of the ship. He took off his hospital gown, revealing his delicate muscles. Clenched the bite with both hands and swung it down forcefully, then lifted it up forcefully, repeating this process. Since this is on a boat, it is early in the morning. Xiao is too embarrassed to run to affect other people's rest. Therefore, I chose a quieter training, swinging a knife. He swung the knife once every 2 seconds, and before the sun came out, Xiao swung a total of 1,000 times. Although he is not yet proficient in kendo, his control of muscles and his ability to transfer power to the sword make up for his lack of skills. Biting in is like a part of his body. The difference between a knife and a fist is that the knife is longer and does more damage. But it is also more difficult to use. But he is also more handsome, which man with a sword is not so charming. It's a good posture. Jun came out of the aisle carrying hot tea. Seeing Jun approaching, Xiao took the knife back into its sheath and wiped off the sweat from his forehead. It is an honor to be praised by a famous swordsman like you. If it's not troublesome, can Miss Jun give some pointers? Change that strange title to Sister Jun, and I'll teach you. Jun, who was holding tea, smiled. Then I'll trouble Miss Jun. After hearing a satisfactory answer, Jun pulled out a dagger-like dagger out of nowhere. I don't have a smaller knife than this one. Just attack with a knife. If you knock a drop of my hot tea off, you win. Xiao scratched his head, as if he had heard this sentence somewhere. But looking at the opponent's ease, it seems that his journey as a swordsman is still very long. Chapter 13. Swish. Seeing Jun's leisurely expression, Xiao instantly flashed in front of her, drew his sword and slashed upwards. Although this slash was unremarkable and unstructured, it was powerful enough. Facing this unparalleled slash, Jun unhurriedly placed the knife across the place where Bian was about to arrive. Clang! Biting in and the blade of the small knife met, making an iron cry. The veins in Xiao's arm popped up, and he poured all his strength into Bian, intending to overwhelm Jun. 3 to 5 seconds passed, and Jun was still extremely relaxed. The hand holding the knife was steady as if holding chopsticks, and the slender arms couldn't even tell how hard they were. During the period, he also took a sip of hot tea, and didn't mean to regard Xiao as an enemy at all. Is this the strength of the world's first echelon swordsman? Xiao was extremely surprised, but he didn't think about giving up. Sooner or later, I will surpass her and reach the top. Withdrawing the blow, Owl threw his hands at the cup in Jun's hand. As expected, Jun predicted Xiao's knife drop point again. Biting in was blocked by the knife again. The owl who was holding Chuan tightly kept pressing down hard, and sparks continued to emerge from the position where the knife and Chuan confronted each other. Jun took a sip of the refreshment very leisurely, chewing gracefully while looking at the pattern on the body of the Bian knife. The fight continued until now Xiao hadn't even been looked at. You should give me some reaction. Xiao said through gritted teeth. Oh. Jun responded, swallowed the refreshment, exerted a slight force on his wrist, and pressed Bian back in front of Xiao. The strength of the opponent is not at the same level as his own. Seeing the blade getting closer, Xiao suddenly unloaded his strength and retreated, dodging the blow. Xiao Gang took 2 steps back, and Jun followed like a ghost. The half cup of tea in his hand was steady and unwavering. Xiao retreated again and again, and finally reached the point where there was no way to retreat. The distance between the two sides was too close. Xiao didn't even have room to swing his sword. Jun raised his hand and scratched at Owl's neck. Jun also specially gave Xiao time to react, otherwise Xiao would already be decapitated by now. Xiao lifted the sword and was knocked out for a moment. Pulling away the distance from Jun, Xiao took 2 steps forward, dived and rolled, and drew his knife to chop at Jun's legs. Jun could have easily stepped on the scorpion to break the situation, but she couldn't bear to dirty this masterpiece. In the end, she chose to take a step back and escape. Jun's retreat gave Xiao enough room to display. Xiao continued to roll forward, retracted the knife and stabbed upwards. Clang! The tip of Chuan's knife was against something. No matter how hard Xiao tried, it was difficult to get half a point. Xiao looked up and saw that the tip of Bian's knife was touching the blade of the small knife. Jun's slender arms can't be seen to be exerting force at all, but to Xiao, it looks like a big mountain. Following Jun's last sip of tea. Finish! Jun looked at Xiao appreciatively, and took a step back to avoid Xiao's stab. For a person who doesn't know swordsmanship, it's pretty good to be able to do this. Facing Jun's praise, Xiao stood up feebly. It's not bad even if you didn't force a move. Why are you so impatient? With your talent, as long as you work hard, I assure you that you can become a real swordsman in a year. Jun took out a handkerchief to wipe the knife and put it on his waist. At this time, the surrounding area was full of people. Miss Jun is so handsome. He looks like a general. Teach me too, Jun-sensei. Xiao's attention was all on the battle just now, and when he realized that the battle had already been watched by many people. Facing everyone's teasing, Jun shook his head helplessly. I told you earlier, if you feel bored, go clean. Jun cursed at the crowd and left angrily. Looking at Jun's back, Xiao took a deep breath. During the battle just now, Jun seemed to be absent-minded, but in fact, the murderous aura lingering around made his hairs stand on end, and when he realized it, he was already in a cold sweat. This is the strength of being a general candidate in the future, and now I can't even reach the opponent with a single finger. When I came to the cafeteria, the breakfast time was almost over. Xiao rounded up all the food that no one liked to eat. After recovering his physical strength, Xiao asked other navies and learned that the ship would arrive at the naval headquarters, Marlin Fander, in a week. In the captain's room, Jun was listening to the intelligence personnel's report on Owl's background. Orphan, he started going to sea when he was about 10 years old. He traveled to more than a dozen countries in 5 years. He was a well-known adventurer with a good reputation. He disappeared when he was 15 years old and never appeared in the public eye again. Where have you been in the past 2 years? Jun narrowed his eyes and whispered. Report. Please come in. Vice Admiral Jun, the Navy headquarters issued an urgent notice that 4 celestial dragons disappeared in the waters near Gaia Island, and ordered the Navy around Gaia Island to investigate. Admiral Jun, we just came out of that sea area, do we want to go back? Someone beside Jun asked. Why waste resources for trash? Whoever wants to go will go. Jun is now preoccupied with what Xiao was doing during the 2 years he disappeared, and doesn't bother to care about other things. After much deliberation, Jun decided to call Xiao to ask. She didn't want to give up Xiao, a genius, for some boring reasons. At this time, Xiao was surrounded by everyone watching at the stern like a monkey. Under the gaze of dozens of eyes, Xiao's cheeks were slightly red, and he was doing push-ups facing the sea. The female navy is a special branch of the navy. Its role is not weaker than that of the male navy, and it is even stronger than other troops in obtaining intelligence. It is difficult for such a force to have a private life at sea. In the face of a handsome young boy, it is inevitable that some people will not be able to bear it. On a boat full of women, Xiao, the only man, was somewhat embarrassed. After finishing a set of training, Xiao leaned on the rail of the boat and panted heavily. Little brother, do you want some water? Do you want my sister to take you to cool off? I have good juice here, little brother might as well come over to sisters. Sisters will pamper you well. Facing the teasing from everyone, Xiao turned his head to the other side with a blushing face. Boys must protect themselves in the wild. Xiao, Admiral Jun has something to call for. A woman in a school official uniform came behind Xiao and ordered. Hearing someone calling himself, don't mention how aggressive Xiao is. Finally, I don't have to be stared at like a monkey. Come quickly to the captain's room. Report, Xiao brought it. Please come in. The hatch opened, and Xiao entered the captain's room. Jun was sitting on an office chair staring at Xiao's personal information in his hand. What is your purpose in joining the Navy? In other words, do you have your own justice? Jun said bluntly. Facing Jun's question, Xiao pondered for a while. My justice does not bully the weak, defies the strong, resists oppression, and equals all. As for my purpose of joining the Navy, it is to help the weak and fight pirates while traveling around the world. Chapter 14. That's a good answer. Jun agrees with Owl's justice. From your background check, you disappeared at the age of 15. Where have you been for the past 2 years? Hearing Jun's question, Xiao's heart skipped a beat. Shouldn't the matter of being a combat slave be exposed? His predecessor was always called by the code name on the Tianlong Ren ship, but he never told anyone his real name. Regardless of whether the other party knew it or not, Xiao was going to bite the bullet. When I was 15 years old, I went to Sky Island because of a tsunami. It took me 2 years to find a way to get down. I came down from Sky Island 4 days ago and landed on Longchain Island. Then I met you. Xiao thought that this answer was perfect. Anyway, there are few people involved in Sky Island. If there is no record of being a slave, you should be able to pass by. Okay, I see, you can go. Jun replied lukewarmly. After receiving Jun's reply, Xiao consciously left and closed the door behind him. Is it believable? Asked a major beside Jun. Jun pondered for a while, then said, if I hadn't rescued him in time, he would have been buried in the mouths of sea kings. He has no reason to be a pirate's undercover agent. In my name, submit his application for admission. Yes. The major beside Jun responded, and took Xiao's personal information to the communication room. Coming out of the captain's room, Xiao came to the cafeteria with trepidation and finished the lunch for 10 people. After lunch, Xiao came to the stern of the boat for training with a lot of worries. Xiao was thinking while practicing swinging a knife. Now the news of the disappearance of those Tianlong people should have reached the navy. If he has a record of being treated as a slave, he should be found on his own head. In this way, the disappearance of a few Tianlong people will have results. I will definitely be caught and tortured to death. I handed in your application to enter the Naval Academy for you. I went to the school to improve my strength. I will fight you again in a year. Jun's voice suddenly came from behind Xiao. Thank you Jun-san, I will work hard. Xiao hurriedly responded, and at the same time breathed a sigh of relief. In this way, the first hurdle in this world is completely passed. Finally, you can have no worries and focus all your energy on improving your own strength. After letting go of his long-hanging heart, Xiao set stricter standards on himself. Almost to the point of heinous. The surrounding female navy couldn't stand it any longer. This little brother is also practicing too crazy. Jun, who was hiding in the dark, watched Xiao's gaze with increasing appreciation. This boy will become the mainstay of the navy in the future. During the exercise, Xiao didn't think about anything else, so he emptied his mind. There is only one goal, to become stronger. To become stronger desperately, become stronger regardless of the consequences. Become the strongest in this world. Xiao's hell-style training lasted until the afternoon. When he was exhausted, Xiao leaned on the rail of the boat, weak but full of hope, looking at the sun that was about to sink into the sea. The 16-year-old nurse was ordered to deliver meals to Xiao. Carrying meals for 10 people, came to the stern. Looking at the tired owl. The little nurse snorted angrily, "You are still a wounded person, how can you do such intense exercise?" "Haha, I'm sorry to trouble you." Xiao smiled lightly, unable to move his body at all. Coming to Xiao's side, the little nurse squatted down and fed Xiao with a spoon. It took 10 minutes to feed a meal for 20 people. Seeing Xiao's slightly swollen belly, the little nurse couldn't bear to laugh. A sense of accomplishment in raising animals welled up in the little nurse's heart. "What's your name?" Xiao asked, looking at the cute smiling face of the little nurse. "My name is Myra, and I am the woman who will become the doctor of this warship in the future," Myra said confidently. "Who is the ship doctor? Is he as handsome as me?" "You're going to become a ship's doctor. What are you thinking?" Myra said coquettishly, blushing. "Go back by yourself when you're full, I won't help you go." Myra angrily left with her lunchbox. Xiao, who stayed where he was, couldn't help laughing as he looked at Myra's back that was drifting away. After digesting 10 servings of food, Xiao stood up and started doing warm-up exercises. "Now that you have strength, let's do a few more sets of training." As the sun set, the shadow of the stern owl continued to grow until it was dark. "What a hot-blooded young man!" A senior colonel next to Jun covered his face and smiled. "The navy needs people like that right now." Jun looked relieved at the owl who was training hard. "Go and teach him tomorrow, don't let him practice deadly." "Understood, Jun-sensei," the senior colonel said pretendingly. She could see that Jun really liked this little devil. It's just the love of the seniors for the juniors. Accompanied by the stars, the figure of the young man working hard is extraordinarily bright under the moonlight, forming a beautiful scenery. After dinner, the female sailors gathered at the stern of the shipboard after work, looking at this pleasing picture. Whenever Xiao finished a set of training and leaned against the rail to rest, someone would always ask him about his identity, his past preferences, etc. At 11:30 in the evening, Xiao ended his training for the day. "I came to the unoccupied bathroom and took a long-lost hot bath. Go back to the assigned bedroom and set the alarm clock at 5 o'clock." Years of training have allowed Xiao to develop the ability to fall asleep immediately. And it can quickly improve muscle memory during sleep and fully digest the training results of the day. This physique allows Xiao to grow rapidly. In the morning, the sun has not yet risen in the east. Jingle bell. A few seconds after hearing the alarm, Xiao quickly got up and turned off the alarm. Put on the trousers, take the scorpion and come to the stern. Start a new day of practice. Last night, Jun sent someone to deliver a sword manual to Xiao, and told Xiao that the fit between the sword and the sword was enough. It has reached the level of training simple slashing into moves. Open the sword manual and fix it in an eye-catching position. Xiao began to concentrate on practicing. There are a total of 10 styles in the sword manual. Xiao set a goal to be familiar with 2 styles a day, and to fully understand the entire sword manual before arriving at Marin Fando. The fog in the morning dissipated with the appearance of the sun. A strong body slowly appeared in the shadows. Xiao was steaming all over his body, practicing the 2 sword moves with all his strength, and at the same time studying and thinking about the circumstances under which the sword move should be used. Biting and made a piercing whirring sound in Xiao's hands. At this time Xiao's consciousness and body were separated, the body was only performing actions subconsciously, and the mind created an enemy in front of him out of thin air. The enemy is attacking from all directions with a sword in hand, and he needs to use the only 2 moves to break through all the opponent's moves. Xiao's morning exercise skills amazed Jun. Biting dark was reflected by the sun with a trace of black light, and Xiao's eyes were also shining with light. No matter with fist or sword, he will be the strongest in the world. Chapter 15. In the morning, the sun is completely out of the sea in the east. The sky turned